Hello you lovely people and welcome back to this channel. So today I'm doing something slightly different. I'm getting into the festive spirit and I needed some inspiration for my me-made gifts for this Christmas. And I thought, what better way than to head down to London and see Christmas decorations at its finest and get some inspiration for my next few makes. So for those of you that don't know, I'm originally from London, and if you haven't been to London, London is just amazing for Christmas. Christmas lights and the festivities, it's all going on here. And I went to visit the Liberty London department store and also some of my favourite retailers like Anthropologie and H&M Home and all those lovely bits. And so, as well as some sewing inspiration, I also got some Christmas at home decoration inspiration. So I will be showing you the things that I've loved. I will put little timestamps down below in the description box if you want to skip to a particular part or something that you're particularly interested in, you can do that too. I also will link everything that I talk about. If you don't see it there, then what you can do is head to the LTK link down below, and basically I just post everything on there that I am loving, using, and it will just take you straight to the page. I have also put together some gift guides for things that I know I would love to be gifted this year. So if you have a similar taste to me, then go and check that out. You might find some bits that you like for yourself or maybe to gift for a loved one this year. So let's get straight in, and I'm going to start with Liberty London. Now, Liberty London just transports me to another planet. It's like that feeling of a child in a candy shop. And it's just so exciting. I love just being immersed in it all. And it's just one of those places where you want to buy everything and you just cannot, because, I mean, everything is a small investment. But it's just so inspiring, and it gives you some really nice ideas for how to style your home and for gifts for Christmas. I'll show you some clip now of the Christmas section. So if you haven't been to Liberty London before, there's multiple different floors. I think there's about 4 or 5 floors. Each floor has something completely different. And obviously during the Christmas season, you have the Christmas decoration section. And yeah, it's just like walking through a winter wonderland basically, and it's just the absolute dream. By the way, if you don't have a hot beverage, I would grab one ready for this video. And I just hope you guys get some inspiration from this video really. And for those of you that are not local to London, and obviously you just can't get down here, I hope I'm able to shed some light as to what goes on. I am planning to see some more Christmas lights during December, which I cannot wait for. I think they might have started. Keep a watch out for that one if you want to see. Other floor that I went to visit was the fabric floor, and oh my gosh, isn't that the absolute definition of heaven? I mean, you'll see from some of the clips, I mean, the silk, which understandably it's silk, and just glorious patterns, but it's £60 a metre, and to be honest, even if I could buy fabric at that level, I would be so scared to cut into that fabric. I mean, if it went wrong, I would have a breakdown. So yeah, not for the moment. I think I need to practice a little bit more on my silk sewing skills first. But yeah, they just have the most amazing fabrics, and what strikes me every single time is the quality of the fabric, but also the pattern designs. I mean, they're just absolutely gorgeous. And I just find with a lot of patterns, sometimes you just get sick of them after a while, and I would say you just, I don't know, I mean, comment if you understand what I mean, but sometimes when you see a fabric pattern so much, you just get really put off. But somehow, I don't know how Liberty managed to do it, but they just seem to have these really loud, colourful pattern pieces, pattern designs rather, and they're just so classical. They just seem so timeless. It doesn't matter if you decorate your whole home with the same fabric. You just, yeah, and they also have this amazing skill, and this is something that I see multiple retailers do of this similar style of kind of patching two fabrics together that are similar in some ways and different in others, but sewn together, you wouldn't put the two and two together and they just look amazing. And it's places like Anthropologie and Liberty who do this really well. I'll put up some video clips of kind of what I mean. They have this sort of frill-edged pillowcase, or pillows rather, and they have these little tote bags with the frills along the edge, and just the combination of those two different patterns are just to die for. And I think I actually will do a video on trying to match different fabrics and different loud fabrics together and what to kind of look out for, because I do think I'm able to spot these things quite well without having to go and buy sort of a whole set of fat quarters, because in the end they end up quite expensive and you can't be as experimental and use up your own stash. You end up just buying new fabric to match fabric that you already have. But I think if you know what to look out for, I think you could quite easily mix and match different fabrics with a stash that you already own. But yeah, I don't know how they do it, but Liberty just do this amazing sort of contrast fabrics, and it almost gives that kind of patchwork vibe, but not quite. And it's the same in places like Monsoon, Accessorize, Anthropologie that I just mentioned, and they just do these things really well. But yeah, I'm in love them. So these two items here really got me inspired to kind of dig into my stash and find some contrasting fabrics that could go together and make really nice practical pieces. And I just think they make the most amazing gifts. Now, Liberty Silks did get me a little bit inspired, because a couple of months ago I did purchase a silk-like fabric. It probably is a polyester blend. It's really annoying because sometimes when you go to these large fabric stores, they don't really have detailed information about the fabric, which is a little bit frustrating. But yeah, I think this is sort of a polyester silk-like blend. But it really got me inspired to kind of try sewing silks a little bit more, kind of perfecting my technique, because I think silk just has such a lovely finish, and I would love to make some more silk pieces in general. And I would love to be able to sew some really nice gifts and things for my Etsy shop. So probably not going to happen this year, but I'm going to try and perfect my skill over the next year and produce some lovely silk pieces on my Etsy shop. So watch this space. I mean, at the moment my Etsy page is quite small. I'm just kind of figuring out how Etsy works, etc. At the moment I've got on there jersey headbands. For those of you that I don't know, I love going to the mountains, climbing, and I'm always on the lookout for a really good headband, you know, the sort of sweatband style headbands, but ones that also look quite fashionable and quite stylish. So I love finding nice jersey fabrics that are really breathable. Most of the fabrics that's on there at the moment are Ocutex friendly, so I try and be as sort of ethical as possible. I mean, in terms of jersey and jersey prints in particular, I find them quite difficult to source anyway, and so when I'm trying to find these more ethical brands, just finding them quite hard to find, and finding a print that suits my style and suits the sort of vibe that I'm after. So I'm gonna keep looking. I'm sure there's new sort of companies and things coming out with these things all the time. If you know of any that do sort of jersey fabrics that are sort of more eco-friendly and sustainable, do let me know in the comments down below, because I'm all ears for finding out new brands of that sort. If you're interested in that, check that out. I've only just started that very recently. It's not I've not done it for long, but I really love how they have turned out. I'll see if I can put some pictures up here just so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about, what they look like. There's a couple that I just use on repeat, and I've thrown them in the wash so many times, and just the quality is just still so great. So loving those right now. So that's all I'm going to say for Liberty for now. I mean, I think if you're just looking for a gift, I think Liberty just do some really beautiful pieces. I do think, however, nowadays on Etsy, people making homemade items very similar to the style of Liberty. So I think it's really good to kind of go there and get some inspiration. But because of that, I was thinking I should put together a compilation of Etsy sellers that kind of create really beautiful gifts, handmade gifts in particular, quite similar to the style of Liberty. not necessarily with the Liberty fabrics, but kind of that style of very intricate detail and lots of colours and patterns, and kind of put them in a compilation really, because I'm sure there are loads of small businesses out there that just nail it, and there's something so special about a handmade gift, someone really taking their time and making it from scratch by hand, with their own ideas and passion and love for what they're doing. So yeah, I'm going to try and do that in the next sort of few weeks, because I've come across some really nice small businesses as well that are right up my street, and I think I'm going to order for my Christmas gifts this year. If you own a small business, do let me know your handle down in the description box down below, and I'm going to be sure to check it out. I always love finding new Etsy sellers, so yeah, pop your handle down below. And if you know anyone else that, or you've bought from someone that you've really loved their product and the quality, again, just leave those down below for me to have a little look at. I think that's what it's all about. I mean, Christmas, all about giving, and I love that. But I think as well, there's so much more thought that goes into ordering a gift handmade from Etsy, and they're just such unique pieces. I mean, you won't find them anywhere else, and they're just one of a kind. So I'm all for that. So the other store that I visited was H&M Home. And for those of you that don't know, in Oxford Circus, they have their H&M Home flagship store, which just means that they have the most amazing range. And one thing that I would say stands out with their flagship store is they always have this huge array of artificial or even dried flowers for home decorations. They have such a huge range. A little bit like Liberty outside their store, they've also got quite a few sort of flowers and fresh flowers and things outside, which are gorgeous. I would say if you're into those things, do check out the flagship store. They have 2 floors full of just H&M Home, and I know some of the other places they have a little bit of H&M here and there, but it's quite small floor space of that shop, and there's not many around. So if you're a H&M Home lover like I am, check out the flagship store. They had some really beautiful ideas for tablescapes. They have their signature beautiful vases. I think I've actually got one behind me. So it's this one here that I absolutely love, and it has this very stone effect detailing on here, and I just find every single one of their vases, so I don't know if you remember, quite a while ago they had this rounder shaped vase with a hole in the middle, and at the time I was thinking, oh, I just can't really justify it. I don't really need any more ornaments. We just have loads around the house already. And it sold out, and every time I went to look for one, there wasn't any there, and on eBay they were selling them like stupidly expensive because obviously there was a demand for this sort of vase. And I just find the same thing happens with every single one of their vases of this material, this stone like ceramic, but they all just sell out. And so the one that I've seen at the moment, which I'm not sure if I'm going to get on, because they don't have the white one in stock and they only have the brown, which doesn't really go with my interior, but this is the vase that I saw there currently. It still seems to be in stock. Everything else seems to have gone. So at the time of making this video, they're in stock. So I would grab those if you're loving them, because they do go very quickly. But what I did feel was quite festive and quite Christmassy in the H&M Home department with these gold bathroom soap dispensers, and I'll pop a little cup up here, but they had the little matching toothbrush holder. And I mean, if you know me and my interiors, I love gold. Even my jewellery, I have gold. I love gold hardware over rose gold, silvers. I just love gold. But there's something about these that are just particularly festive. They're very mirror-like gold in effect. And I think if you just want to jazz up your home a little bit for Christmas, I think these are just absolutely perfect. And I think I am going to put an order in for those, because I have these matching gold trays, which I'll try and put a photograph up, which I got in a pack of 2 from Amazon a really long time ago, but they just match perfectly, and they would be perfect for a bar of soap or just to pop your sort of skincare on and things like that. And they're just really, really cute. And I also think at Christmas time, the most important parts to decorate are your living room, if you have like a fireplace, a mantelpiece, to put a little display there. Obviously your dining table set up, because obviously that's where you're going to have your Christmas dinner. But also sort of in the kitchen. I mean, everyone's around the kitchen, especially if you have an open plan home. Everyone's around in the kitchen, and it's just nice to have a few sort of kitcheny bits. And I just found that H&M had such amazing, not tacky, but kind of with a little hint of festivities in their designs. They had a lot of red and white, things like tea towels, aprons, little cup and saucers, just really nice touches, but they're also items that you actually could have all year round. I did actually put a little gift guide together on this sort of theme, because I just thought it was just so pretty. So I'll link that down below if you're intrigued. I'll pop a little picture up here. But yeah, I think with just these little touches really that just make a home more Christmassy. I think just a nice little red touch throughout your kitchen is festive enough in my opinion, and it's just things you could just bring out every single year, and it's just so timeless, so classic, and I just love. Now for the dining scape, I just love the designs that Anthropologie have in their stores, and I just think with Anthropologie you just cannot go wrong with their ceramics. They're so rustic but so stylish and so organic shaped and patterned. They are quite expensive, but I do think they're investment pieces. I think they're pieces that you bring out year on year, and I think some of their pieces, I think this pink like shaped scalloped bowl, I think it's on sale at the moment. It was when I put it on my gift guide, so do check that out, because I think some of their other plates sold out because they're on sale. And it's just all about the layering and the different textures, sort of a layer of a napkin and layering with different glasses and vases and flowers and cutlery, and there's just so much going on that you don't know which part to look at, and it's all just so pretty. So yeah, I mean, loving those. I always get a lot of inspiration from the tablescapes and things, so yeah, check those out as well. I mean, even if you're watching this video after Christmas, I mean, maybe these pieces have gone on sale, so still check out the gift guides and the links and things down below, because if they do go down in price, then you're on to a steal. Now there's so many other things that I saw in Anthropologie with things like their gifting and things like that. I will put a little gift guide together for that. I haven't done that just yet, but I think they've got some really nice little ideas on wrapping up gifts with maybe things that you already have, or maybe the haberdashery stash that I know I have a ridiculous stash of like haberdasheries that I haven't quite got a project for, but they're just beautiful pieces, and they've managed to sort of wrap gifts in such a unique way with these pieces that I just think that's just a brilliant idea on using things that you already have, and just making a gift look pretty. And when you give people these gifts with these beautiful gifting wrapping and bows and all these trimmings, people often just keep them to use for other things, and I just love that cycle of reusing things and re-loving things just over and over. So I think it's just great. So I think overall from my little trip into London, I've really been inspired to decorate my home for this season, make some DIY Christmas decorations as well as some DIY Christmas gifts. So do watch out for those videos, because I'm going to compile a selection of really easy homemade Christmas ideas for both the home and for gifting. So if you think that's something that you'd be interested to see, do hit the subscribe button down below and do hit the bell, because that tells you when I next upload a video. And yeah, loving that I'm even more inspired than before this Christmas.